All right, welcome to another episode of the All American Hoops podcast. I'm Chris Driscoll. This is episode 65. I'm joined by my younger brother, Matt Driscoll.
Chris, always a pleasure. To the viewers, if I sound a little under the weather tonight, that is because I am. So, we don't take breaks on the All American Hoops podcast. So this is my flu game. I'm powering through for you guys.
Love to hear it. And I'm also joined by our older brother, John Driscoll.
Women will never know the pain and suffering that men go with when they have the common cold. That's all I have to say. AAH, also, thank you for having us.
Of course.
If I could equate this to a pain that women go through, I would say birth. I would say childbirth.
Okay, yeah.
I would say it's on that level.
How nice. Great way to start the show. Speaking of which, to all the ladies in our lives, happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. We're very thrilled about that. And this phenomenal holiday we're very progressive like that on the All American Hoops podcast.
I don't think progressiveness is wishing a happy Valentine's Day. To all my gals out there.
Hernandez, yeah.
What is you guys have any plans tomorrow?
Tomorrow, nothing really tomorrow. I'm working and then I'm driving up north after that. But we're going to Olivia and I are going to Ferraro's in Westfields on Saturday night.
Very nice.
Very nice. I'm also driving up north tomorrow after work.
Very nice.
And we're going out to dinner on Saturday.
Yeah, I think John and Charlotte's plan's a little more fun than ours.
What are you doing?
So tomorrow night we're getting some pizza dough from the local pizzeria Roma down the streets, and we are making pizza together tomorrow night. And That's then fun. I think on Saturday we'll probably go out or something. But tomorrow will be filled with homemade pizza and Whole Foods cookies. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of these Whole Foods cookies. I'm telling you, these cookies, the dough is like, you get this little like plastic box. It has these gigantic 4 cookie doughs. It makes these giant cookies. It's like $12 for these 4 cookies. It's ridiculous, but it's made with brown butter and it's unbelievable. So we'll be having it tomorrow.
I'm not going to pull it up on screen, but yeah, like I do have a picture of Olivia and I actually eating the Whole Foods cookie is actually in our living room.
You've had it before.
Oh yeah, they're phenomenal. Yeah.
Guess I'm just missing out. They're in our living room, Chris?
No. You think that I let them in the house with I let them in the house without me finishing them? Come on. We ate them when no one was home. Yeah. So anyway, this is the George Ratkovis episode. He played for the Syracuse Nationals and the whoever the hell MLH is of the Milwaukee Hawks from 1948 to 1955. Has played in the playoffs for 3 years, in which he averaged 10.8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game. Nothing significant about this guy. Like, he's not like a legend. Like, yeah, I like to stand my old guys, but usually I'll stand them when they actually accomplish something. But other than being the only player in NBA history to wear the number 65, not much to hype about over his career, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, every time, which it's been every time recently that we can't find like a connectionable person, we do bring up New York Mets who wore them in the past. So one of them is Robert Gazelman, who looked stoned every time he was going to go out to pitch. Maybe that just has to do with the fact that he had long hair. But he was a starter reliever for a little bit, and then also who's the other guy we said? Trevor May, who's a known gamer. He was a great part of that Mets 2022 team, but 2023 kind of fell off the bus. But other than that, not many memorable 65s. But that's okay though. We knew this going in that each episode was going to get harder with as the numbers got bigger.
Okay, I thought Robert Gazelman would be better than he was. That's the only real take I have on any athlete that's ever won 65.
That's the other thing as well, is that one other takeaway from Robert Gazelman is that he just, like, this was back when pitchers were hitters also in the National League, and he just never swung the damn bats in his first year pitching. and they never had to use him in like a big situation. But yeah, like my number one fear throughout the entire year was what if, because like because the Mets pitchers were down that year, like it was like everyone but Syndergaard. It was Matt Harvey, it was Jacob deGrom, it was Zach Wheeler, obviously, it was Steven Matz was out for a lot. So like yeah, essentially it was who was it? Yeah, it was Syndergaard, it was Bartolo Colon, Seth Ludo, and Gesellman. Yeah, like I just knew for a fact that like Gesellman was gonna have to come up in a big spot in the playoffs, and he just wasn't going to be able to hit. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that happen. They lost in the wild card game, but yeah, that would have been an interesting situation for sure. Cool. So anyway, yeah, we got a great show ahead of us today. Obviously, this is post trade deadline. About a week. Not about a week. It's been exactly 7 days since the trade deadline. John, Ori B from Hoop Social, and I had a great show last week where we talked about the winners and the losers, and now that we've had a week to settle it, we're going to talk about a couple of teams right now. We're going to talk about our favorite team, the Celtics, who really didn't make any moves at the trade deadline, and then we're going to talk about my least favorite team, at least, the Los Angeles Lakers. Which, now that I said that out loud, I do think that John and Matt are eventually going to come around to my side, that the Lakers will become their least favorite team as well. I think that's going to be a very easy adjustment, given that Luka Doncic is now on the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers will now go back to relevancy, unfortunately. Yeah, but we'll talk about the Celtics for a little bit. I'm going to let John and Matt make fun of me for a little bit because I didn't do the research ahead of time, but like we did still go through the games as to which games they were going to win and lose. But even though I was never fully like I never hopped off the bandwagon, but I was certainly I was afraid of the bandwagon. Let's just put it that way. But now smooth riding with the Celtics. They've won 7 of their last 8. They are now officially 1 win away from achieving the 40-20 rule, 40-20 rule, and they have a 3-game cushion as well. So, Matt, what are your takeaways on the Boston Celtics? And based on what you've seen for the past 2-3 weeks?
I have a text here I'm pulling up. It is from AH himself, claiming this team stinks. Do you remember this? And do you remember on the pod, was that 2 weeks ago, John, where Chris was saying we couldn't use the first month and a half of the season as proof that they're a good team and they're still the championship contender team that they are, but we can use the month span that he was talking about? Chris, can we use the last 8 games as a little gauge for how good this Celtics team is?
Yeah.
They're 7-8 in their last 8 games.
7-1. 7 and 8. I'd be very concerned. They're 7.
Yeah. They're 7. They've won 7 out of the last 8. Yes. They got to go 1-3 for the 40-20 rule. I will say you did say as soon as they get to 40-20, they get to the 40-20 rule, I will shut up and I won't say another bad thing about this team. But I just want to know what your thoughts are. What do you think in AH? Do you feel ashamed for how you acted in the group chat and on this podcast?
Not on this podcast, no. I think I remain professional with my concerns and everything. Over the group chats, yeah, I think I only had 2 crash outs, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I only crashed out against the Rockets, which they blew a 12-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then against the Hawks. No, not the Hawks. The Hawks didn't crash out. It was the Kings when they lost without Fox.
You crashed out in my apartment a couple months ago.
That wasn't a crash out.
It was.
I don't think that was a crash out at all.
You said that Jason Tatum has an awful game every 5 games.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe not every 5 games, but at least every 7 games, which I'd still like him to work on his consistency, but that's okay. But no, like I don't I don't necessarily regret much that I say, just because like I said, I never said that they're not. Like when I said they stink, I obviously meant they stink up to the standards that we hold them, which is the best team in the league, and they weren't playing like the best team in the league. They were playing 500 basketball for a much longer span of time than I would have liked. So, I stay. Like obviously, I'm happy with where they are now. But I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not necessarily. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this, just because they turned it around, obviously. But
hold on, Chris.
Yes.
What you're trying to do right now is say oh, but I was just saying that they were bad for a month and a half.
Yes.
For a month. We were saying that you shouldn't overreact, and you shouldn't be upset at them right now because they will turn it around. That was our entire point.
Right.
And you were saying you weren't. Why are you saying right? You were not saying that on the podcast and in the group chat.
I never said they couldn't turn around. I said I was skeptic. I was kind of skeptical about their ability to turn around because they were reminding me a little bit too much of the 2023 team.
And you were wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm wrong.
This is a very Bill Simmons type move by Chris right now. He's covering his track.
They couldn't have been more different than the 2023 team.
How? They were blowing leads in the fourth quarter. They were there was clearly some time. Go on, Matt.
Because the 2023 team wasn't coming off of a championship and has a completely different roster. That's why.
That's fair.
KH, you were wrong. It's okay.
I don't know if
you were wrong.
Christopher Simmons on the
Bill
top
Simmons has Bill Simmons has
if you had an overreaction to a month's worth of basketball, let's hear your overreaction here. Because if you keep the same energy that you did for the past month and a half to what we've seen in the past 10 games, then you should be praising the Lord and saying that they're going to win they're going to go 16-3 again in the playoffs.
I still think they're going to win the title.
You didn't say that last time.
I was more skeptical. I said they were my favorites to win the title. I'm more confident now. Who the hell is commenting now? I'm sure it's Matt, but no, check this out. Oh, valid crash outs. Thank you, Jack. But I don't know. But like Matt, like I do appreciate you calling me Bill Simmons because Bill Simmons has the biggest part of my take podcast in the world. So so that is a pretty big compliment. But however, yeah, like it is also very he does have his flaws as well. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. I don't. This is a weird feeling, just because like I'm rooting, I'm happy with what happens, but it still feels like that I'm being shamed, like about how, which granted, like I guess you could say, but I don't even want to say I'm wrong, just because which I understand, like maybe looking back at it, it was a coward move, just because because he's like if they had continued playing like crap for like the rest of the season, they finished as a third seed, and then like which like the playoffs haven't happened yet, so I don't want to jinx anything. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, you guys are wrong and I was right, just because I would look like a miserable fan, like kind of like a Sal Licata on the Mets things, or Felger or Maz on whatever Boston station they are. But yeah, like I was being honest with how I felt, but yeah, like I guess you could say like I was wrong to crash outs. I'm wrong to overreact to certain things, but I do think that my concerns were valid, and hopefully this continues post All-Star break.
I agree. I mean, we should probably get into more of the meat and potatoes now instead of just dunking on you, AAH, because
yes, I agree.
We only have an hour and we could be doing this all night, So
okay.
I mean, 7-1 in their last 8. They've beaten a couple good teams as well, right?
They beat the crap out of the Knicks on Saturday night. That was great.
Watched that with a couple of Knick fans down in Baltimore at the Loyal Alumni event. Sorry, nice. Jack LaSalle, if you're watching. It was very, very nice to see Dean crashing out in the bar we were in. But yeah, they beaten the Knicks. They yesterday, obviously not a great team in the Spurs, but they could be with Fox.
Yeah. So
why are not starting Stephon Castle?
Their roster construction is so weird.
That a little bit, but like giving a 40-year-old Chris Paul minutes over Castle is nuts to me. I think you almost, and I think we've all been Castle fans since last year. He was a really, really good player at UConn. He plays both sides of the ball really well. He's athletic. He's young. He's fun. I think you might have a good like trio there, or a younger trio in him, Wemby, and
Fox
and De'Aaron Fox. But yeah, I don't see the value in giving Chris Paul minutes over him.
Especially where the Spurs are at right now as a team. They're not contending for a title or anything right now, so it's not like giving that young guy minutes is going to hurt them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about the Spurs, because like I haven't done a full 180 my De'Aaron Fox week. He's like I still stand by that he's one of my favorite players in the league, but like but like just like looking at like some of his advanced stats, like he's not as impactful as I thought he was. But at the end of the day, like I do believe that he and Wemby can I still think that their ceiling is championship eventually. Down the line, especially Wemby's gonna be that good if Fox stays consistent. But I do think that Fox is gonna need to improve his jump shot a little bit. Yeah, it has fallen off recently. And I don't I don't know exactly. But back to the Celtics for a little bit. I can't believe we're back to this conversation, and after me being pessimistic for a month, I'm grateful that I never got to this point. Well, Celtic fans are back to the casual take of they're better without Jaylen Brown. Give the ball to Tatum more. And everything. Usage rates. First of all, I haven't participated in this debate on Twitter just because it's useless. Usage rate is the dumbest stat ever. You could be dribbling around for an entire for 20 out of 24 seconds in a possession, pass it off to a guy in the corner, he shoots a three. The guy who shot the shot gets credit for the possession on usage rate there. The guy dribbling around had nothing to do with it. If you
don't assists count towards usage rate?
I don't know if they do or not, honestly.
I think assists do. I think if you dribble around for 20 seconds, then you pass it, and then the guy that passes it just kicks out to the corner really quick.
Okay.
Then that wouldn't count as usage rate, but I think assists do count.
You might be right, but I'll double check that in a second. But regardless, it's just like if you want to say that Tatum should have the ball in his hands more, you should be running the offense more, I could probably get on board with that because at the end of the day, he's the best player on the team. He's a better player than Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has improved in playmaking himself, but at the end of the day, Tatum has been the much better. Tatum for his entire career has been the much better playmaker and obviously a better scorer as well, more efficient. Usually, but Celtics fans, you have two All-Stars. They've been co-All-Stars for three. I think it's 3 seasons in a row now. They've made four or five conference finals in the time they've been together. They've been to 2 finals. They've won a title together. Why are we still having this conversation? It's the same exact thing that they've been trying to pull off for so long now. You have 2 All-Stars. Don't split them up. 2 All-Stars that play well together. It's one thing that if you talk about De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis because they really didn't accomplish a ton. They won almost 1 playoff series, but or even Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is debatable. Even though I do think the two of them play really well together. It's just the places around them that aren't as great. But Tatum Brown, the formula works. They played well without great spacing with Marcus Smart and Rob Williams as their point guard and center. They played amazing basketball with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. They could have anyone around them, and they're a great basketball team. It drives me up a wall. People are just because of a 3-game slate here where Celtics playing much better without Jaylen Brown. That all of a sudden that just goes to show a point that you need to split the Jays. No, it doesn't. You guys are wrong. You guys are morons.
I think there's also a totally different argument that the Celtics absolutely should not split up the Jays, but there is an argument to be made that Jason Tatum should have a higher usage rate or should be controlling the ball more. I mean, if you look at the usage rate right now, and I get it, usage rate has its flaws, but Tatum is 19th in the NBA. He should not be there. If you want to pick somebody out on the Celtics who you want to have the ball more often, it's Jason Tatum, and you're seeing it over the past couple of games. And I get it. It worked last year playing everyone says I'll try to find a better, a more PC way to put it here, where everyone kind of eats on offense, right? And I think that worked last year. I think the league has gotten better. I'm not really certain that would work this year. I think Drew Holiday is a great player. I'm not necessarily sure that I'm not saying he took a step back, but I don't really think he is what he was necessarily. I don't think Al Horford is what he was necessarily. And I think the ball dominance needs to kind of shift towards Tatum here. He's in his prime. He deserves to get the ball more often. I think you look at the leaders in usage rate right now, and I think that Wiseman's number 1. That's kind of like a fluke. But Giannis, LaMelo, Shea is in the top 5 or the top 6 or 7. Zion's there too. I know Zion doesn't play, but he puts up really great numbers when he does. I think Tatum needs to be more in that, top 10 to 5 range in the statistical category. I think that you're seeing it. it's not the Tatum of 2021 where his usage rate is based on him scoring. His usage rate now is based on him playmaking. When teams throw double at him, he makes the right play. He finds the open man, and I think that's fine. And I think I do really think, and this was one of my notes before we started here, I think that they need to play through Tatum more, and I don't think that necessarily means playing through Brown less. I think that means more. And I think Peyton Pritchard's been playing awesome. I think Derek White is amazing. We're all huge Derek White guys, but like I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more offensive production kind of filtered through Tatum than those other guys, because at the end of the day, he's the better offensive player.
Yeah, John, I think you made some really, really great points there. What you said about like everybody eats offense. I do think that will still work. I do agree with that partially. Like I think getting everyone involved early in the game will still be beneficial, but I think later in the game, especially in like the late fourth quarter, Tatum needs the ball in his hands. There's been I'm not saying this specifically this year, but definitely in the past, there's been like games where Tatum's in the fourth quarter and Jaylen Brown's playing a little too much hero ball, or like Porzingis or Derek White are taking shots in the fourth, which isn't like horrible, but I would much rather Tatum have the ball in his hands. The Celtics are 18-1 when Tatum's usage rate is over 31%. Like that's just insane numbers. I know usage rate is a little flawed, but 18-1 is just, I don't think
you can
that's
argue with that.
Yeah,
No,
you can't.
Yeah. So to answer so just to clarify the point I brought up earlier. So yes, assists are factored into usage rate calculations, though not a 1-to-1 ratio. Usage rate formula typically includes a portion of a player's assist, often expressed as a fraction, like 0.33 or 1/3 of assists. So it estimates the percentage of team's possessions a player uses while on the floor. It's a measurement of how a player ends in a possession after either by shooting, turning the ball over, or getting an assist. So, yes. So it is a mix in there. Excuse me. But like I definitely agree that at the end of the day, like Tatum, this is the best that Tatum has played his entire career. He has had some pretty rough. He has like we talked about earlier. Like some of his lows are very low. Like like some of the 15 points inefficient games certainly aren't fun to watch. But at the end of the day, this is the best that Jason Tatum has played. Whether he's scoring or getting an assist or like just like drawing defenders up, we need to see a little more of that. And I eventually think that we will. I know that last year in the playoffs we really didn't see that a ton, just because like whenever Tatum had like an off night, someone else stepped up. Like we saw Jaylen Brown do it in Game 3 of the finals. We saw Derek White do it in round 1 against the Heat. We saw KP do it Game 1 against the Mavs. But like, and I'm not saying that can't happen this year, but I do think that eventually Jason Tatum can be the guy to step up when his team needs to, and he has shown that he has been the guy to step up when his team needs to. We saw him drop 46 points against the Bucks in 2022. We also saw him drop 50 in Game 7 against the Sixers in 2023. And then again also in Game 5 against the Mavs. Like he wasn't the only one playing well, but like we've seen him we've seen him put the team on his back and carry the team to victory, and I think we'll see more of that in the playoffs this year. I don't think we have anything else to say other than the fact that the Celtics do need to go 1-3 in order to, as I mentioned, achieve the 40-20 rule. Hopefully they do that when they get back from break on next.
I wanted to talk one more thing about the Celtics.
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, two, but one of them is, I think, adjustments to be made is to get healthy. I think that's that goes without saying. I think people don't, or people, and when I say people, I mean me too. The health of Drew Holiday, I think they're privileged in a way to play good basketball without him. But I think when he's on the court, they're at their best. But I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about Torrey Craig. I think it's one of those things where running through the bench pieces and you're thinking about like a playoff rotation. It's weird because I don't really see an avenue for him to be in that top 8, right? Because Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year. I think he's been playing great. Al Horford, it goes without saying he is a versatile big man. He can play Giannis, as well as anybody can. And there are some good big men that he can play against, and he can switch onto those wings on the perimeter. It's his versatility is understated. And then Sam Hauser, I think, would be the number one person you could say is the odd man out, but like his shooting is irreplaceable. And I don't think the Celtics won the finals last year without Sam Hauser kind of turning it up shooting. So if Sam Hauser's on, then or if he's hitting his shots, then I don't think there's a better eighth man in the league. But if he kind of hits like a couple game cold stretch, I think Torrey Craig could step up and make some good plays because I think he shoots pretty well from three. And he's also a much better defender than Sam Hauser.
Mm-hmm. Right. You didn't even mention Luke Cornett, by the way, in your thing, and he's been awesome this year.
He has been awesome. Yeah. It's just a stacked roster.
Exactly. It's funny. Yeah, it's really funny how last year, after the Celtics traded for Drew, getting rid of Rob Williams, it's like, okay, now they're back to square one. Who's going to be the third center? And that just shows how spoiled we were. Like that we couldn't find a third center. And now the guy who's our third center is a very solid backup center in games where either KP or Al can't play. But to answer your question, like it's funny how I feel like whenever the Celtics were like their roster is set and they said like, okay, they can make more improvements here. I feel like Torrey Craig has always been like one of the guys on the list. Like it's always been Torrey Craig, it's been Danny Green, it's been Lonzo Ball came up in 2021. Javonte Green is always on the list too. Michael Green, Javonte, what was it?
Daniel Tice.
Yeah. So like he's always like on the list of guys there, and they finally pulled the trigger on like a solid wing piece. So I definitely think that Torrey Craig could be a situation like Xavier Tillman last year, where they might use him in like an emergency situation, where so KP is out, but we need a guy who can go out and switch onto Luka if we need be. Cornet's not that guy, and Neemias Queta sure as hell isn't that guy. So let's go with Xavier Tillman, who may not bring a ton of value in offense, but let's have him come out. Let's have him come out and get a couple of defensive stops, and hell, maybe he'll make a corner three, which Tillman was the perfect plugging guy. Hasn't worked out this year, so maybe picking up Torrey Craig to be a guy on certain matchups. Like if Sam Hauser is having a cold night, let's bring in Torrey Craig for a couple possessions to either get a bucket or get or like let's say guard. I'm trying to think of someone else that's a hot out in the East now because there's not many hot. Like to guard Donovan Mitchell for position. He could definitely be like a guy in emergency situations. So will he crack the top eight? Likely not. But you never know.
Yeah, no, you make a good point, H, with and some people don't really think of. There's always, for every championship run, there's a momentum guy. A guy who can kind of change the landscape of a game. So you make a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of echoing what you guys said. I don't think he'll be in the top eight, but maybe he'll get some run. Really, what I want to do right now is give Sam Hauser his flowers for the past couple games. He's shooting 53% from three over the last 10. It's not like if he's not playing well, the Celtics won't win games. I think it's true, but he just I don't think that's true. But I just think he adds like such a level to this team. Like if he's having a good night, they're an extremely, extremely hard team to beat. But yeah, I was just giving Sam Hauser some flowers.
Love that. Okay, cool. So, up next we could talk about we talked like the very much on the margins for the Celtics, the moves they made and everything there. Didn't want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, however. And Fluent, big Lakers fan. We're not talking about the Lakers only because they got killed last night. You can ask the guys. I did send out the agenda before they lost. So, Yeah. So we're not just bringing it. We're not talking about the Lakers for the first time ever on a night that they played awful. So, I'm still very but like, however, the way the Lakers roster has fluctuated for the past week has certainly fascinated us. Like a week ago today, as I mentioned, John, Ori, and I were talking about how the trade of Mark Williams could be like an X factor of the Lakers to like increase their ceiling. Like, could he be the guy to stop Jokic? No, but like matching up with like other, but he definitely raised their ceiling defensively. So now that the trade has been rescinded, which by the way, like I'm still seeing people on Twitter saying like, oh, there's a chance that it gets back if the Thunder, if the Hornets win like whatever appeal there is. There's no way in hell that happens. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But Matt, I was wondering what your takeaways are on the Mark Williams situation with the Lakers.
First off, as a Mark Williams fantasy owner, I am very upset because it does not seem like he'll be playing in the near future. And I'm trying to think, is there any trade in like recent history that's been rescinded for injury in the NBA?
Not injury, but
Chris Paul one is like the big one.
There's also 2021, or is it? It was maybe it was like I think it was like 2020 into 2021 where the Bucks traded for Bogdan Bogdanovic. I think was one of them. I think that trade got rescinded, or either that or like something else happened with the Kings. But like it was like something weird there. But like nothing like this though.
Yeah, I do think it's obviously the Lakers are very undersized right now, and I do think it's a loss that they don't have Mark Williams like interior presence on offense. But he's never healthy, Mark Williams, and he's not that great of a defender. Like I didn't really, to be totally honest, I haven't watched a ton of Hornets games. I watched when the Celtics have played them a couple times, and then I watch on like the NBA League Pass crunch time when they're bouncing around game to game. I'll watch them. But when they played the Lakers the last time before the trade, AD had 43 and 22 or something like that on Mark Williams. So I think this could end up being a positive for them. Obviously, they're kind of scrapping right now. They just signed Alex Len, who I don't know how long he'll be on the team, but they signed Alex Len, and then Jackson Hayes is their big guy. Like obviously they're in trouble now. I don't know where they can go from here. I wouldn't have guessed that Alex Len was the best replacement or best backup center option available, but I don't know where they go.
Well, yeah, I think you made a good point, Matt. Mark Williams was really not an impressive defender. I think that the Lakers made this move to give Luka a rim runner, a guy who can kind of, play a little pick and roll with him and, have a couple alley-oops. And that's why I think I mentioned it on last week's pod with Chris and Ori. Like we were scared that they were going to trade for Robert Williams. And Robert Williams would have been an unbelievable fit on this Lakers team. He's and health aside, because it sucks. Because I think if Robert Williams was healthy, he would probably still be on the Celtics. And I think that he would be one of the best, two-way centers in the game. But you want to talk about, like, I don't think the Lakers made that move for defense this specifically. I think they were kind of just leaning into the offensive side of the ball and kind of just, hoping that they could put up 130 every night and then kind of run with that. But I don't know if we wanted to dive more into if their defensive play, their recent defensive play, Chris. I don't know what you want to do, but
yeah. That's exactly what I wanted to dive into because they're. I don't know what it is this week, but there are certain weeks where the media drives me more, or like the media or like people on Twitter just drive me more crazy than usual. Just like Jason Timpf and like other Lakers fans saying like, oh, their defense will be fine. They've been like the best in the league in the past 10 games. Are you guys hearing yourself talk? Let's see. So let's see. So first of all, you just traded away your Anthony Davis, and like I understand he probably hasn't played like the last 5 games, and like the first 5, and like he hasn't been as great. And I did look it up. Technically, this is where I'm going to use on off as like this is where I'm going to say on off is bad because like sometimes I say it's good, but this is where it's bad. Is where their defense is just as good with them as without him, but we know that's not true. It's like it's just one of those things. But let's see. So they had to play. So they beat before they lost last night. They beat the Jazz the night before. They beat the Pacers, who have a good offense. Granted, they beat the Warriors, who stink. They beat the Clippers, who are not a good offense. They played they let up 112 points to the Knicks. They let up 96 points to the goddamn Washington Wizards, and then the Sixers they lost to. They let up 118 points. You're telling me this is gonna be good? This is like supposedly like top 10. Maybe not top 10, but this is gonna be like. As I said, like one of the best defenses in the league. They've been fine for the last 10 games. Just look. I request that you look at the roster. You mean to tell me that a closing lineup of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, 40-year-old LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Jackson freaking Hayes is going to be a sustainable defensive playoff lineup? Are you kidding me? Luka and LeBron can carry a team to a playoff series win. I definitely think they can, but I don't think they can win another playoff series. And they definitely can't make the finals with this roster. Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say out of that closing five, I don't know how good Jackson Hayes is on defense, admittedly, but Rui Hachimura is solid on defense, and we saw this with the Celtics Knicks game. It's really hard to hide two bad defenders. The Mavs last year did a good job hiding Luka Doncic defensively because they surrounded him with good defenders. But it's going to be really hard to hide Luka and Austin Reeves and a 40-year-old LeBron. I know LeBron is still an okay defender when he tries, but like, how can you rely on that? So it's going to be hard to definitely hide a lot of these guys on defense, and I don't think their defense is sustainable. They just have to hope that they can score 125, 130 points a game.
Well, it's hilarious to me that the media was going on for a week about how good the Lakers defense has looked over the last 10 games, and they gave 131 to the Jazz last night. And that guess what? That is what your defense looks like with Luka. It's you mentioned 40-year-old LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, like that whole lineup. Is Rui Hachimura your best defender?
Matt, by the way, I don't think there would maybe I'm underrating him. I don't think he's a good defender. I just think that I think he's a good body, but he's definitely better on offense than defense. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's underestimating him, but I don't have faith in them at all.
Their offense is going to be fun. I think Austin Reeves I think he's a pretty underrated offensive player, honestly.
For sure.
I think he's a very fun, good offensive player. Like, their defense is going to get hounded. And it's, fine. You can put up 120, 125. You're going to let up 140. It's opposing offenses, especially if they pull like the Thunder in the first round, let's say, if everything kind of goes to shit, or even if they pull the Rockets in the first round, Ime Udoka is going to have a field day with you. It's not. Again, I think everybody looks at the duo of LeBron and Luka. I get it. It's like a really cool, fun offensive team, but what people don't realize or people don't think about, which I've been subject to that too. I don't think about it sometimes when I think about duos or trios. It's played on both sides of the ball, and Matt, you made a good point. You can hide one bad defender. You can have Luka get beat off the dribble every time and funnel him into those, the Gaffords and the Liveleys, and PJ Washington can help on the wing. It's good defenders all around you. You can't hide two defenders. Bad defenders. Yeah, and it's three. Jackson Hayes and Rui Hachimura are your best defenders. You're done. And I think they were probably hoping that Mark Williams could turn into a rim protector of some sort. And I think, obviously, I do think losing out on Mark Williams, and that's going to be their big, oh, well, we tried, but yeah. I even think that if they had Mark Williams, would they have beaten the Thunder? I don't think so. But,
Drew makes a good point in the comment section. He said, I think their closing fives can win some series, but not 4 in a row. Chris, that's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah.
If we look at all the past champions, the Celtics 2024, great defensive team. I think the Nuggets in 2023 were fine. I don't think they were great, but you have one of the greatest players of all time, and in his peak, at one of the best peaks of all time.
They also had a very easy path as well.
Yeah. But 2022, the Warriors, people say, oh, it's, Steph Curry carried that team. They were a great defensive team. That was their identity. 2021, Bucks were great on defense. 2020, Lakers were solid on defense. It's you need defense to win playoff series. It's been shown throughout NBA history, not just the past couple of years. But I don't know if Mark Williams would have even been that answer defensively. I still think that would have had massive questions, but at least they wouldn't have had Jackson Hayes in their starting five. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think their offense is going to be historic, but
Sure.
their defense really, really scares me.
One person, I do think that Dorian Finney-Smith's role just became a lot more important as well. I do think that there are the Lakers should at least consider in certain matchups giving Rui's minutes to Smith, because Rui's a better offensive player. But I do think that Smith's going to be Smith could be the anchor on defense as well. But I do
he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a very good player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he does in like a playoff setting, because we've seen him playing like smaller roles in Dallas and Brooklyn, but he's a player that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to watch.
If they went to like a small ball lineup and had either DFS or Jared Vanderbilt and then I don't even know who they would put at the 5, like maybe
Vando.
LeBron or something.
Yeah,
like,
it would be Vando. Yeah,
like that. Maybe that would be better to close out games.
Who knows? But yeah, you're gonna have to run into either AD, Jokic, Şengün, Jaren Jackson Jr. You're gonna have to run into one of those guys. So yeah, you're gonna have to come up with better schemes. But
Hartenstein too in Oklahoma City.
It's right. Yeah, Chen Hart. Yeah, well, like I'm like totally throwing out the Thunder out the winner, because I'm not even bringing them into consideration against the Lakers. That's how out I am on the Lakers. But but we'll see. Yeah, there are definitely crazier things that have happened. Yeah, the Lakers were the 7th seed 2 years ago, and they made the conference finals. So I've doubted them in the past before, but I think I'm a little more confident this year than I was 2 years ago. Okay, so now we got the main event for the nights. We're doing a repeat of the All-Star draft. Last year, John, Matt, and I did it just for fun, which is like a fun situation that we did. But however, this year it's a little more of a reality, in which Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck did it. So, and I mentioned this in the description of this. I really do think that, not only do I think that, I think that everyone agrees that either Shaq, Chuck, and Kenny did a horrendous job, or the league told them to divide up the players exactly how they did. Because like Shaq's team is called the Old Heads. He has LeBron, Steph, KD. He has Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who have been Jason Tatum and Jaylen. Jason Tatum definitely is. I don't know if Jaylen Brown is younger than Jalen Brunson, who is on a different team, apparently. And I don't like. I'm not. I wasn't planning on watching it anyway, but like I'm just like I say that every year, but like I usually watch a little bit of it, but like I'm not looking forward to it at all. This isn't. This isn't. Yeah, I don't like this format, but but like maybe it'll be fun this year because it's the first year doing it, but like I don't know how I feel about it.
I think it kind of all comes down to if the players are going to like give a damn about it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The league can fiddle with and change it up however much they want, but it really just does come down to the competitive spirit of the players. And I get not wanting to get hurt, but I think there's a difference between you could still play competitive and not play, trying to get hurt,
Sure. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do our draft a little bit differently. By differently I mean we're not gonna draft for the All-Star game, because I feel like this wasn't the first year they did drafts all together. Like they don't draft before. They said like they draft their team based on how well they would play in the All-Star game. We're gonna do it based on just how like building the best 8-man rotation possible, like over the course of an 82-game season. Just because, or maybe not the course of an 82-game season, maybe just for a playoff run. Is the better quantification for that. But last year, John and Matt gave me the first overall pick. So when me, Matt, and John, but we're gonna do a flip this year. John's gonna go first, then Matt second, then me third.
Cool.
Okay, so John, you have the floor. You may draft whoever you want with your first overall pick.
Yeah, I think this really came down to like between 3 to 4 players. I think it's with the exception of maybe one, it's 3 to 4 really good two-way players and in the MVP conversation. But with my first pick, I'm going to go with someone who's won the MVP award, and that's Jason Tatum.
All right.
Super based. I love that. So Chris, it's building the best roster, correct?
It is building the best roster.
All right. I'm going to take the best player in the league who's still available. I'm going to take Nikola Jokic.
Very nice. That's exactly what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that order, but I was definitely expecting both Jokic and Tatum to be off the board. So we got a comment already.
Jaylen
yeah.
Brown was right there.
Monroe's right there. Yeah, John Drew Fitzpatrick isn't a big fan of your pick, by the way. He thought it was very funny. But
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
He probably just meant to click the thumbs up emoji a bunch of times.
That's definitely what happened. So, okay, so with my first overall pick, I'm going to go with the other guy who's the favorite to win MVP this year. And I'm someone who's criticized him a ton in the past, but I've apologized to him multiple times in the show, but I'm going to go with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And then for my snake around pick, I'm going to go with the guy who, so many are saying that Shea has the potential to be the best Thunder player of all time. So I'm going to go with the guy who is currently the best Thunder player of all time. That's Kevin Durant.
Ooh, interesting.
I think the two of them would be an amazing duo together.
By the way, I do know who Drew Fitzpatrick is. He's a great supporter of the pod. I was just chirping.
Yeah.
All right, so it's my. I'm up. Sorry, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I an idiot? Did Giannis not make the All-Star game?
Giannis is injured.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was looking on your
wow.
list. You said I was like, why did somebody take him?
It's good to know, Chris. Good letting us know. I would not have.
I sent you a list of the players.
No, I have the list right here. But I said before, I got 3 to 4 players that probably would be picked here, and Giannis is one of them.
I am going to take a great player, not a great guy. Off the court issues aside, I'm taking Anthony Edwards.
Damn.
He's so cool, though.
My team is filled with
didn't even
right
talk
now.
about his aura.
People thought that he was better than Tatum already. Get the hell out of here.
Crazy. All right. Let's see here.
The West All-Stars are significantly better than the East All-Stars, I will say.
They are, in fact.
Kind of thinned out here. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, both Giannis and AD are injured, by the way. Those are the two players that are injured. Which, by the way, they haven't announced a replacement for Şengün yet, but I don't know if he's playing or not, but we'll see.
Okay, so I got back to back right now. So I'm gonna go with a little old school. I'm gonna go LeBron.
Nice. I was thinking about taking him.
And honestly, I think I might go old school again. I think I'm gonna go Curry.
Nice.
Those are the two right picks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's my turn right now?
It is your turn.
I don't know how these guys would work together is my issue. But I think I'm just going to go for it. I think I'm going to take Victor Wembanyama.
Damn it. Ah.
You put him at the 4. He can be
right. I feel
fine.
like if Russell Westbrook in 2025 is playing significant, awesome with Jokic, I think Victor Wembanyama can figure it out.
Okay. A couple players in mind here. Yeah, there's definitely a handful that would work out really well together. I got my point guard in Shea. I got KD who can really run the 3 or the 4. If I really want to go long, it could be the 2, but I don't think it's going to happen today because we have a lot of guards. But I do need to go big, so I'm gonna snag at least one big. And I do need to. I'm gonna address my defense. I'm gonna go with no, I'm not. I'm gonna go with the best big man on the board. I'm gonna go with Karl Anthony Towns.
Jersey legend.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so hard to not slander Cat as a New York Knick because I know he's a Jersey legend.
I won't. I'm happy he's playing well, but if the Celtics run into Cat, I'm gonna not like rooting against him.
You know what? I'm going to go double big in my starting lineup. Actually, I do want to handle my defense, but I'm deciding between the two guys. But yeah, I'm going to go with Evan Mobley. Actually,
Ooh,
that's probably a little bit of a stretch, but that's okay.
Nice.
all right. This is gonna be to, my first pick was Jokic, so my defense was lacking, and I picked Ant, who's a good two-way guy, and then I picked Wemby, who's one of the best defenders in the league. I'm going to take another two-way guy and take Jaylen Brown, put him at my 3.
Perfect.
So you put Ant your 1?
1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, they can just alternate. That's good.
I only have 1 guard so far, so.
Okay, I'm going to solidify my big men here with my first pick, and I'm going to go with Jaren Jackson.
Huge fan of.
Who
I would say,
think-
yeah, he's no. I don't think that. Yeah, like I'm still a big Grizzlies guy, but wouldn't consider them my. I wouldn't. They're not like my second, third favorite team anymore because Marcus is gone. But like I'll still be rooting for them. I think. Yeah, like I'm still a fan of like their dynamic.
And then I'm going to round out my starting 5 with known Mets fan Donovan Mitchell.
Ah!
And,
Almost picked him this-
said AH that one.
Damn it! Was one away.
I am going to make if Jack LaSalle's still watching, I'm going to make Knick fans happy here and take Jalen Brunson.
Would have been funny if we let him fall.
Yeah, we should have done that.
I knew that Matt wasn't going to take Mitchell with that next pick. But that's damn. That's okay. All right, so I got my point guard. I got my 3-4. I got my 3 in KD, and then I got my 4 and 5 in Cat and Mobley. So, do need a 2 guard. So do I go 2 or do I just go? You know what? Yeah, I am going to go with the former teammate of KD. I'm actually going to go with Kyrie Irving, who is an injury replacement, but I do think he is the best 2 guard remaining, in my opinion. And then I got another pick in addition to that.
Bench.
What was that?
Now it's just bench.
Is it just bench? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So with my next pick, I got my starting 5 rounded out, so could use another. So there's a lot of point guards on the board left, so I should go with the wing. I'm gonna stick to my length here. I got a very long team, and I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with Pascal Siakam.
Pick. All right. You just took Siakam. I am going to take. I have 2 centers, so I don't really need a big guy. I'm going to take Cade Cunningham.
Very good pick.
Now I think I have a lot of fun players. There's only like maybe like 2, arguably 3 of 2-way guys. So that's why I'm gonna take J-Dub off the board here.
Limits.
Yeah, that's the right pick. I almost picked him instead of Siakam.
And then I feel pretty good about my guards right now. I think I'm gonna take Sengun. And maybe have him fight it out with Jokic a little bit.
Nice. Let me look.
We got only guards remaining now.
No shameless. Only shameless players left. Did Kyrie get taken off the board?
Yes.
It's a shame. I'm going to take Darius Garland.
Okay, so these are my last 2 picks of the draft. Okay, so Yeah, this makes me very happy that I went with length for my last pick. My next pick, I'm gonna go with the guy who was the last overall pick in last year's drafts, and I'm gonna pick up Damian Lillard. By default,
That All-American Hoopers team is out of contention.
I don't think so. Have you seen the guys remaining?
It would have been so funny if we had him go last.
Yeah, I guess neither of you guys have checked the private chat that we have.
Yeah.
No, I've not actually.
I knew it.
I said Dame last pick ?
Wait, did you send that? Which chat? Oh, the private chat. I didn't see that actually until now. Oh, okay. No. Oh well. But with my second to last pick, You know what? I got a bunch of scorers here. I got Shea, who's one of the best playmakers in the league. But yeah, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I need a little more playmaking, so I'm gonna go with James Harden.
So who's left? Harden, Hero, and Trey? Or no, now Hero and Trey?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with the guy that I think would play this role a little bit better than Trey Young would. I'm going to take Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero would play the bench role better.
I'll take Trey Young off your guys' hands. He'll get Sengun and J-Dub and
Okay, so now I'm going to very quickly establish my 8-man rotation. So I got Shea at my 1. I got Kyrie at my 2. I got KD at my 3. I got Mobley at my 4. Anthony Towns at my 5. Guess I'll have Dame as my 6th man. Siakam 7th. And Harden 8th. Okay. I was very happy with my team last year. I do think I constructed my team really well. This year, I'm happy with the way they constructed it, but it's definitely a little more weird. But I think it's weird in a good way, honestly.
There's a lot more guards than bigs in this year. I feel like. Do you agree?
There's definitely more guards than bigs this year. Yeah, 100%.
Than previous years, I'm saying too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Any of you two want to give your 8-man rotation in order?
Yeah, John, you can go ahead.
Yeah. I think it kind of comes all together well. I got Curry at the 1, D Mitch at the 2, Tatum at the 3, or LeBron at the 3. Tatum and LeBron can kind of shift, but 3-4 Tatum, LeBron. I got Jerry Jackson at the 5, and then on my bench, J-Dub, Sengun, and Trey.
Wow, it's a good team.
It's a good bench. Yeah.
I got Brunson at my 1, Anthony Edwards at my 2, Jaylen Brown at my 3, Wemby at my 4, Jokic at my 5, Cade, Garland, and Tyler Hero on my bench.
All right. I don't know who's the best team, honestly. Yeah. I guess that John might have the best starting. John probably has the best starting 5 because obviously he has Jokic and then LeBron and Tatum were great. Oh no, he doesn't have Jokic. He's LeBron and Curry with the good wraparound pick.
Just breaking news: Francisco Lindor just got ranked number 6 on Movie Network. So
wow, that's
which is nice.
That's very good. Wow.
Yeah, Juan Soto got ranked 4th. Who are the 3 players that are better than him?
He was 2 last year, and he was a Yankee.
So it's Judge, Ohtani, and I guess Bobby Witt, maybe.
Need a break.
But they also don't have any pitchers, which I guess makes sense because there's really not many elite pitchers in the league right now. Which by the way, I do remember when I gave my pictures of the running backs the NFL take. I do think it's more so first baseman of the running backs the MLB. But
Kansas City, who the hell cares?
What was that?
Bobby Witt's 3. Bobby Witt's over Soto. Come on.
He had a pretty good season last year.
He had a great season.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Juan Soto's been spitting out 900 OPSs since he was 13 years old.
Very fair. Yeah. Drew Patrick said Mookie, which maybe in 2018 that'd be a good idea. But we're living in. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Mookie's.
I like
Yeah,
Drew's comment. Pick a Sixer soon. That made me chuckle.
When Drew commented that,
haha.
I looked at the roster. I was like, oh my god, did somebody pass on Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, yeah, John, thank you very much for sending the spreadsheet in. I for one was actually just doing it on pen and paper. I was going to do it. I was going to type it up afterwards, but yeah, they made my job easier. I'm going to post it on IG in a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do it on IG in a little bit. We're on a poll. We'll see who has the best team. Last year I was very confident my team was what was that?
I think it's pretty clear who has the best
think so?
team. No, I don't
think so. But last year I was very confident in my pick, but my team didn't ended up either. I didn't win for sure, but I don't know where it was though. But okay. I think that's all we have for the night. Yeah, but this is the last show until the All-Star break. All-Star break starts tomorrow, obviously, and then. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, next week will be. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. Maybe we'll do something historical or something because the only game that's in between now and then is the Hornets game. Their Hornets are playing the Lakers on Wednesday night, which is really weird. How they just decided a random Wednesday just to be the Lakers and the Hornets, but I digress there. But all in all, John, Matt, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on. I forgot the banner again. Jesus. So make sure to follow All American Hooper on all social media platforms. We are on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Subscribe to @SportsSaloon on YouTube to catch us every episode on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And make sure to follow @SportsFluence on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Here I am. Yeah, okay. All right. But again, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode. But until then, keep grinding, stay hooping. Have a good night, everyone.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.